Hey, I just want to mention really quick that you guys should check out this cool Discord group that I've been on. It's called Magic the Gathering Players Group. It has a lot of people on that server. You can play Commander, you can play Standard, you can play every form of Magic via webcam on either Discord, Whereby, Spell Table, Zoom, Messenger, however you want to. It's a really good way to make friends. Let's get on with the video. My commander today is Ayula, Queen Among Bears. This is inspired from the infamous, I don't know if it's infamous, but the Great Bear Force one from Graham in Loading Ready Run. He inspired me to make this whole deck. So, the first thing I would like to talk about is what the process of collecting all these cards. So, in order to complete this deck, I had to acquire a numerous amount of bears. And I tried to get as many as I could. There's probably a couple still left around. The complete deck list is posted in the what is it called, description below. So the first bear that I would like to show would be, I know it's not even a bear, but it's a changeling. The universal automaton. There's pale bears, Alpine grizzly, I believe that's German, so Alpine Grizzly. Rune Claw. Mother Bear. Mother Bear's finally home. Spectral Bears. I thought the art was really cool on that one. Ashcoat Bears. Vivian's Grizzly. That's a really cool advantage to have in this deck. Dragon Scarred Bear. It's a powerful regenerative ability. I think it works well. Grizzly Bear, because you always have to have the OP Grizzly. Ogre Claw Terra of Calcisma. I'm pretty sure that was the standard commander for Bear Force 1 before Ayula came out in Modern Horizons. Of course we have the lovable Bear Cub. Balduvian Bears. Werebear. It's always fun to say that. Werebear. And Wild Bears. I don't really use the morbid ability way too much. It's mostly just for Ayula's activation. But those are all the bears that I've collected so far. If you guys know of any other bears that aren't shapeshifters mainly, please let me know in the comments below. The next section I would like to talk about is the way to win that I usually use in this deck. I haven't played it a whole lot recently, so bear with me. Of course there's the Overwhelming Stampede to give all the bears a buff. There's the classic Colossification. I'm sad I don't have the alternate art one, although this one looks really funny too. I also like to use Bellowing Worm just to give all my creatures Intimidate, so they can't be blocked by, what was it? Except by artifact creatures or creatures that share a color. I mean, usually people use green in a lot of their decks because it's a really popular color, but still, it works pretty well half the time. The other one is Court of Bounty. Now if you play this really early on in your deck, well, in this deck, since it's only a 4-drop, it's really easy to get an advantage. Because at first you're just ramping, but if you continue to be the monarch, then you can just put in more bears for free and get Ayula's activation even more. So those are usually the ways that I like to win in this deck. It's just basically sticking creatures to the battlefield and smashing your face. And then ways that I like to make bears, one of my favorites is Flaxen Intruder. Now it has a really cool art from Throne of Eldraine, it does have a bear in the picture, which is very, very important. Even though it's bears being killed by Goldilocks, it's still flavorful, because it also creates bear tokens. The little 3 bears, raw! And there's also birthing boughs, which is really good for any kind of token-based synergy that you have in any kind of deck, because it creates colorless shapeshifter tokens that can count for anything, any tribe you want. I have something like this. Oh wait, no, I have the same one in my sliver deck, which I know slivers aren't really popular right now, I guess. But they're more hated upon, but I really like that deck. It works really well. And the last one is Ayula's Influence, because I play a lot of lands in this deck. I mean, it's kind of the normal amount of lands. I have, I think, 34 in here. And almost everything costs below 4 mana. There's 4 or 5 manas the tops. So I don't really need to keep all my land cards for some big explosive spells later on. Like those ones. And my favorite ones, my favorite cards in the deck. Lost in the Woods. Now this is a really cool card that says whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, reveal the top card of your library, and if it's a forest card, remove that creature from combat and then put the revealed card at the bottom of the library. So if you have any way of manipulating your deck, this would be a lot more fun and synergistic in your deck, but I just have it for fun lottery reasons. It serves no purpose in the deck. It's just a lottery-based fog, which is pretty neat to me. And the other one is Bearscape. Now Bearscape, yes, it's the flavor text and the picture, because oh my god, the picture is just mountains of bears. But it also creates bear tokens for Ayula's activation. I just really like it because of the flavor of the picture, and the word has bear in it. I'm also not sure what set that is from. Will it focus? There we go. If anyone can let me know, that'd be great. I'm not that educated on the older sets. Now let's see. So, Ayula's activations, if you don't know, you can, whenever another bear enters the battlefield, choose one. Put two 1/1 counters on target bear, or target bear fights target creature you don't control. Sorry if you guys can hear that in the back, that's my cat moving around everywhere. But the ways that I really love to manipulate these two activations in my enchantment-based cards. So, just because this is a 1-drop, I really love Primal Frenzy, because I can put that on the biggest bear I have, and then just keep putting 1/1 counters on that bear over and over again, and then just trample your way to victory. And then another one is Ferocity. Now I don't use this one as much as I would like to, but it says whenever enchanted creature blocks or becomes blocked, you may put a 1/1 counter on it. So if it doesn't have trample and it can be easily jump blocked, then you can just make it bigger. Seems like a good way to win. I do have a lot of flying destruction. So I have cards like Grounded. Enchanted creature loses flying, so they can't soar over my bears. They gotta stay on the ground with me. There's also enchantments like Vow of the Wildness. Wildness? That just sounds weird coming out. It says enchanted creature has +3/+3 trample and can attack you or planeswalkers you control, which is, I think it's pretty neat. Like, it basically means that your creature can't turn against you, or if someone tries to take it and it gains haste, that they can't really do that. They have to attack someone else with my creature. Then another enchantment I have is Predatory Urge. I believe that's from original Zendikar. But you can just tap it and it can fight. If you don't have another bear in your hand to activate with Ayula, you can just slam this down and it does the same thing. Fighty bear. Fighty bear. See, I already talked about the wind cone. I already talked about bears. Let's talk about more bears. Let's see. Okay, so other creatures that I have in this deck include, hold on, I just gotta get those out. Let's see. Other creatures in my deck include Garrick's Hoard, just to get a top card of the library. Manipulation. It's just another thing to add to your deck. And most of my cards in this deck are creatures, so it's a benefit to me. There's Champion of Lambholt. I don't really use this card too much, but it does, what does it do? When another creature enters a battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Champion of Lambholt. Creatures with power less than it cannot block creatures you control. Okay, so it's a way of negating people being able to block my bears. So I could either have an army of bears, or I could Voltron Ayula out with all these enchantments and then just swing in for commander damage. I think that's pretty neat. Let's see. Wild Beastmaster. And when it attacks, each other creature gets +X/+X, where X is Wild Beastmaster's power. So say I put the trample enchantment on Ayula, and then I have a bunch of other instants and sorceries that give creatures +1/+1 counters or until end of turn. So you put this on Wild Beastmaster and then give Ayula that +X/+X, where it's this one's power, and then you can trample out for the victory. Let's see. Oh, this is the same type thing. So Farron the Hedgehammer. He's friendly with bears. When it attacks another target attacking creature, it gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is Sir Farron's power. So you can do the same thing like with Wild Beastmaster, essentially. It's just the same thing. And another one I really love to do for an ultimate finisher is play Scarred Goliath on any, not play it, but use the Blood Rush activation. You tap 7, discard Scarred Goliath, and target attacking creature gets +9/+9 and gains trample until end of turn. That pretty much explains the whole gist of this deck. Trampling out for the victory! Victory! Yep. So that concludes my deck tech on what I love to put in Bear Force 1. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions on cards that I should put in this deck, you can leave them below in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!